Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. So it looks like Seattle has decided that California's got a pretty good thing going, and that is absolutely destroying jobs. We saw it with the federal government first coming after people's jobs by mandating that employers give insurance out to people with a certain amount of hours. That killed the 40-hour work week. Then we saw things like, oh, over this many hours you get paid overtime. We started seeing more and more destruction of a standard 40-hour job. Well, now it moved into states like California deciding, oh, fast food workers, you don't make enough money. You need $20 an hour. Now they're all getting laid off. Well, now cities like Seattle are doing that. So let's go ahead and pick up this story and talk about that. I got my notes. So Seattle decided that it's going to mandate a $4.99 delivery fee on Uber Eats to quote unquote help drivers. Deliveries have crashed 45%. Now this story comes out of Zero Hedge, and it's important to know that this is not a one-off deal. California is not a one-off state. You are going to see more and more cities and states become emboldened to go and reach into corporations' pocketbooks and force them to pay their employees more because they can't survive. Even though it's the states and the federal government's fault that we have inflation in the first place because of rampant spending and out of control money printing. All right. So it says here, drivers are not helped by wage mandates in Seattle and New York, and customer complain higher prices and cold food. It's a perfect trifecta of complaints. Neither drivers nor customers are happy with misguided politicians attempting to help drivers get better pay. It says the delivery companies whose businesses are built on gig workers they don't employ full-time say they can only afford to pay so many workers under two cities' latest pay standards. The cities want the companies to pay couriers a minimum hourly wage based on the time they spend delivering orders and reward the most efficient workers. New York City now requires that the companies pay couriers at least $19.56 an hour before tips, up from an average of $5.39 per hour before its rules went into effect in December. Now, if you remember, California had this bright idea of attacking the gig economy, and sadly, they succeeded. They absolutely decimated it. And you know, it really makes my heart go out to a lot of people that understand this one fact. And that is, when you are an Uber driver, an Uber Eats driver, any type of gig economy participant, you now own your own business. You get the right, unlike those that work at a fast food joint like McDonald's or Taco Bell, you get the right to write off your fuel, write off your vehicle, off certain office expenses. You get to legally shelter a good portion of your income from tax legally. Well, the sad thing is that we're not telling you this on the internet, or sorry, the government's not telling you this. They know that too, and that's why they want this destroyed. They are actually setting out on purpose to destroy the gig economy because they don't want there to be a million, not jobs, a million businesses in America. You know, it's funny, every single time I get into an Uber, I love talking to my driver about how the business is and how they are handling their business. And about 50% of the people that I drive with on Ubers, they don't even understand the ins and outs that, I'm in business for myself and I can pick my own schedule, but they don't know the benefits of the tax write-offs that they have right in front of them. It breaks my heart. And this is the kind of stuff that I want to get out to people. Hopefully this is going to attract some new people to the channel because they're going to start to see, well, wait a minute, you mean I could save even more money? See, the government actually wants this destroyed. That's why it's starting in New York, California, and Seattle. Please put down below what all of those three locations have in common. Yeah, it starts with a dema and then ends with crat. And that blows my mind that most people don't see this. So check this out. It says here, Uber Eats orders in Seattle after this came out fell 45% last quarter from the same period a year earlier after the company imposed a $4.99 fee on each order to cover the city's new pay requirements. So again, this isn't Uber Eats one to do this. They don't want to do it at all because they know what's going to happen. It's because they're being forced to by the city. Consumers already pay the app's service fee and delivery fee in addition to tipping workers. For some, the latest app fees were the last straw. Seattle-based researcher Ro Tsai, who was hooked on ordering in several times a week until the city adopted its pay measure in January. App's price became absolutely nuts, he said. After adding varying delivery fees in addition to tipping, he started picking up the food himself. He said it's like double the price of an order, a $20 burrito now, compared with a pickup price. He said, this is insane. Now, Uber's chief executive, Dara Koroskanowski, butchered that one, said that the company has had to cut 25% of the delivery drivers who previously worked for the app in New York City. So far, the regulation has definitely hurt the people that it's supposed to protect. She said this last month on a call with analysts. Seattle driver Gary come on now. There's a lot of vowels in that word, last name, said he makes less money now despite working more hours. Breakfast and afternoon snack delivery orders have disappeared. Smaller deliveries don't make sense because of the new $4.99 fee, he said. Now, again, I want to remind people, and that's when we just throw the notes out and talk. Please understand this. This is very serious. When these people lose their job, they now go on the government dole. And I am going to be honest with you. I truly, truly believe the government wants you in a place of fear, of uncertainty, and doubt. The government wants you in a state of FUD because that causes confusion. Please understand that this is a planned event. Seattle knows exactly what they're doing. California knows what they're doing. New York knows what they're doing. They want to increase unemployment. They want to decrease people's ability to own their own businesses. This is absolutely tragic. I believe that everyone should have a side business. If you work a full-time job, you should have a side business. A little bit of cash coming in, because you want to know why I believe that? It builds character. It's hard. It builds finances. And then eventually, if you're good at it, and a lot of people don't realize they'd be a good entrepreneur until they try, it creates ultimate freedom. Freedom from the system, freedom from the matrix. Sadly, though, when your companies get to a certain size, it's now under the thumb, and that's why I think it should be a small side hustle, small businesses. We need to bring small businesses back to our country and make small business great again. Because the government has a way of destroying small businesses through certain regulations once they get to a certain size. And to all the business owners in watching this video, please let everyone know what I'm talking about. Once your side hustle turns into a business and then that small business turns into a certain size and it really deals with employees, that's when it really gets hurt. So when you keep your company small, under a certain amount of employees, you skate these regulations. But a lot of people don't understand the difference between going, in these different tiers in companies, when you build your company up. I think if we make small businesses great again, our country will thrive. I hope you got something out of this. The Economic Ninja is out.